Skilling moneymakers have often been forgotten and overshadowed by bossing and other PVM for years, but over the past year or two, there have been a few really good skilling moneymakers emerge. So I challenged myself to see how much money I could make in 10 hours of skilling. About 9 months ago, I attempted this challenge for bossing, so my goal is to try and beat the GP earned in that video, which, spoiler alert, was just over 200 million coins in a fairly unlucky 10 hours. Aside from only being able to use skilling money-making methods in this video, I will also be setting a rule where I can't spend more than 2 hours at the exact same piece of content, so I'll be forced to switch things up fairly regularly, and with that, let's begin the challenge. So, the game plan to start, as you can probably tell, I do have my thieving gear on, and we're gonna go do some heists. If you don't know already, heists are the newest piece of skilling content entered into RuneScape 3. There is the Vault of Heists, which requires level 95 thieving to begin, and the Asuran Arsenal, which is at 108 thieving. I'll start by spending an hour at each, starting with the Vault of Heists. There are 3 unique drops here, being the Gloomfire Bow, worth around 80 million coins, Legatus' Ember Staff, worth around 150 mil, and Mizilionar's Death Mask, worth around 650 mil. The odds to get one of these uniques in the first heist is about a 1 in 45, and we will be able to do around 5 or 6 heists per hour. So a decent chance at getting a big ticket item. So I'll start the timer and then we'll head over to the heist and begin. We're going to start with the lower level heist and then move to the higher level and just do 1 hour of each. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, timer is started. I did forget on my prep work to grab the archaeology journal. So let's grab that, teleport over. We need to get to the first heist location. All right, we're at the first heist. Let's get in there and start looting. Okay, so we're just finishing the first run. We're about 13 minutes in, so not too bad of a time. Got the full 500 loot, so let's see what we get for the first run. Okay. So 1.29 mil, not the best start, but it is a start, I guess. Let's get back in there, do run number 2, and that is heist number 2 completed, and let's see what we get. All right, not bad, 1.3 mil. This really is a boom or bust activity, that's for sure. All right, another run down. That one wasn't so good, got caught twice, but we finished the run and we should get the full loot. Hopefully we get one of those uniques. All right, let's leave, see what we got. 229 or 1229 for time. It's not the worst. Oh my god! Oh my god, we got the best drop. Oh my god, we got the Death Mask. 666 mil. I was not expecting that. Oh my god, let's add that to the loot. Oh man, we beat it. We beat the PVM challenge already. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's putting us up to 669.2 mil. Oh my god. Oh yeah, and we're gonna keep it. I did want that item, so that's so huge. Apparently it is going for around, yeah, the 660 mil. So it's basically what it's valued at. So yeah, really happy with that. That is huge drop. And I will be adding that to my necromancy set. Yeah, I guess we'll go do another one. I did not need to go bank that, but we did. All right, let's head back. We're only 42 minutes in, 660 mil. Like, my god, that's crazy. Gotta go for that back-to-back. Got to. And that is another heist run down. Let's see if we get the back-to-back. Another run down, another 1 mil made, plus what is that there? It looks like an ExpressVPN discount. ExpressVPN secures your online data, protecting it from hackers and data thieves using military-grade encryption. Perfect for unsecured networks like vulnerable public Wi-Fi at airports, hotels, and cafes. ExpressVPN also gives you online privacy from third parties, so no one needs to find out that I had to Google how to pronounce Ardone, or is it Ardugni? It even masks your IP address, so you won't have to worry about doxers when you get a bit too heated in your online games. And one of the most valuable benefits from ExpressVPN is its ability to switch your IP address to one of 105 countries. This helps you bypass geo-restrictions and censorship and grants you access to TV shows and movies you wouldn't otherwise have access to in your home country on your favorite streaming platforms. Now I can finally watch some of my favorite movies like Inception and Interstellar anywhere in the world. Find out how you can get up to 4 extra months by clicking the link in the description box below or scanning the QR code. Purchasing a 1 or 2 year plan through my link directly supports the channel, so thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring the video. Okay, so we're going to do one more run in the Vault of Herodes, then we're going to move on to the Ossuran Arsenal, which also can make some really good money. And we are now just over 1 hour in, with a total of 670 mil made. Literally 665 is the Miscellanear's Death Mask, and the other 5 mil is just comments, so this is definitely a boom or bust method. Looks like if you get the unique, you're rich. If not, you're making a little bit of cash, but not so much. And that is another heist run done. We're at 1 hour and 5 minutes. Let's see what we got. Actually, another PB, 11-minute run. Very nice. And not bad. Still just commons, but 1.75 mil that time. All right, so we're starting activity number 2, heist number 2. Just over 1 hour in and 672 mil made, and hoping to just add on to it. So this heist is much more difficult. You actually take a lot of damage, especially in the second part, but the drops are also still really good. I think the commons are a little bit better, but there's only 2 uniques. They're still extremely valuable and only going up because of the combat modernization update. So hopefully we get one of those. The Varanus Mercy is the item we're going for. It sells for something like 600 to 800 mil, so that would be huge to get. All right, so this is the hard part of the heist. I seem to always take damage here. I still haven't quite figured out the best way to do it, but we really just make up for it later on where we get all of our loot. As you saw, like you take like 4 or 5k per hit if you mess up. $10-minute heist. Let's see what we got for loot. Just over 1 mil. That's another heist done. We got the full 500 loot. No rare drop, but we did get another 2 mil to add to the total. My God, I can't believe I didn't get hit by those. This is a hard heist. We always get hit a bunch. And that is another full run. Let's see what we get. Again, a 1 in 45 for a unique. A unique, just over 2 mil. All right, let's go one last run, and then we'll move on to a new skilling moneymaker. And 2.3 mil. Okay, so we are gonna be done with heists for now. And I think let's move on to a skilling boss. Let's do the Gate of Elidinis. The Gate of Elidinis is one of 2 official skilling bosses in RuneScape 3. It has a total of 4 rare drops, all being a 1 in 480, the big one being the Memory Dowser, selling for around 700 million coins. And that is kill number 1. We got 295k, did actually get a unique, although it's the bad one, the Latent Offering, basically worthless. And still no unique. So we're going to finish Gate of Elidinis there. And that's going to put us up to an even 683 mil. And let's move on. I think let's move on to a more of a chill method, semi-AFK skilling method. And that's going to be sharp shell shards. So making sharp shell shards is sort of a semi-AFK method. You know, you're not going to get like a full 5 or 10 minute AFK, but the AFK part is just collecting these dinosaur eggs. And then once your inventory is full, you just go incubate them at the different incubators. There's 2 of them. And just back and forth until you're done. And I'll do this for a full hour. So a bit more of a chill method. And we'll probably make something like just 8 mil. And we'll do this for an hour or so. There aren't that many insane skilling moneymakers like the ones we've already done. Most of them are more chill and laid back like this. So I just wanted to give you guys a look at a semi-AFK skilling method that you could do yourselves. We got just over 7k of these sharp shell shards, which if we just quickly price check, it's about 4.3 mil. So it's a pretty good money maker for sort of like a semi-AFK method. And I think I'll continue on for another 25-30 minutes. And then we'll sell it, probably make around 8 mil. So not too much, but nice for a pretty chill method. Alright, so I finished the full hour, and we're going to sell the sharp shell shards. Insta-sold for just over 2 mil. So I think next up is going to be some big game hunter. It's a very good skilling activity, so let's go ahead and do it. So I'll just spend some time gearing up. I think we'll bring the nature sentinel outfit and a few other things. The bait for Big Game Hunter is fairly expensive, so I'll try and keep track of that and actually subtract it from the GP earned. Alright, so we bought some of the bait that we will end up needing. It was actually fairly expensive, but I think the bait that you get back is also very expensive, so we should make some money from that. Okay, first one's up here. We're doing the 3 mid-game Big Game Hunter dinosaurs, because they are, I think, the best consistent money. Their meat is used for the high tier. Alright, we made it, so we're going to hunt the Corbicula Rex now. So this is actually a really good dinosaur to hunt. Every time you successfully hunt it, you get like 450k worth of meat. Potentially 2 of them, so maybe double that. Alright, let's start. Only got the one. If we could get a double encounter, that would be so cool. Just preparing for the whole thing, so we'll fletch a bunch of wooden spears. It's really just the first run, prepping, getting the poison color and all that, and then you start getting kills like every minute or so. Okay, so first attempt. We could get it right here if I got the 50-50 right. Oh, nice, I did. Okay. So 1 dinosaur down. Let's see what we got for loot. Okay, no unique. We did get 2 of the Corbicula Rex meat, so that's actually big. Let's note that, and we'll start another encounter. We're actually on the Roar of Osseous as well, which is kind of nice. And we only got 1 piece of meat that time. Unlucky. Let's go again. So the loot from at least that 1 Big Game Hunter dinosaur, the meat 3 mil, and the rest of it probably not much. Yeah, honestly, it's a little disappointing, 3 mil from 1. But we'll move on to the next and see if we can get lucky. Oh nice, we got an Aciatops unchecked, which is an extra 1 mil and 2 pieces of meat, not bad. And we got a double encounter. That means we get double the loot. So that is awesome. It does make it much harder, but always love to see the double or triple encounters. Oh my god. So I'm pretty sure this is double loot. So if it is a Dragonmatic, it is... I get 2 of them. I'm pretty sure. So let's see what we get. And no Dragonmatic, but we did get double the loot, so that's not too bad. Unfortunately, only 2 Aciatops meat. And we got 2 pieces of the meat, 400k each. So that's where the money's going to be at. Ooh, very nice. We got another double encounter. And that is 1 down. Let's see what we got. No rare drop, but let's finish off the second. Give me like a double of the rare Skeka Hypno Wand, please. That would be amazing. Nope. We did get 2 pieces of meat though. Ooh, I was looking around for those dinosaur bones and it looks like my bone crusher must have crushed them all. So that kind of sucks, honestly. That would have been a little bit of extra profit. But I guess it's fine. We'll just do a price check. Alright, and the total comes to about 8.1 mil. So that's not very good. We actually made more doing the firemaking method because that's not counting the bait that we already spent money on. So that's, yeah, really not great. So that's going to bring us up to about 695 mil. So we're approaching the 700 mil mark. And let's move on to the next method. Forgot, I did get the Aciatops, so that should help, because Big Game Hunter was very disappointing, honestly. So next up, I think I want to try doing some runecrafting. It is one of the better skilling money-making methods in the game. I'm going to start by actually just running with the Runica Tuner. It might not be as profitable, but you do get more magical thread, so I do want to test it out. And if that doesn't work so well, we'll probably just do some blood rune running or something like that through the Abyss. So I've completed some runs with the Runica Tuner, and it just doesn't seem like it's worth it, especially because you go and tune on the Soul Altar every once in a while, and the GP is just not there if you get the Soul Altar or if you get just some bad altars in general. So I think the plan is to just do blood runes or time runes. I'm going to try time runes first. Yeah, so real quick, like every run, I guess we're expecting, and that was doubled, so 100k, and on the runs where we can use the power burst, it's 200k. So yeah, it doesn't seem the best. I'm tempted to continue doing the Runica Tuner. It seems like most of the money is from the magical thread. So the wiki is saying that water runes is actually really profitable, so I'm going to switch it up and spend some time just making water runes. We'll make some pretty consistent money that way, but later on I might try the blood altar or something different. Okay, I think I'm done. I don't think I can suffer through this any longer. So I'm going to count up the runes, we'll sell them, and then we'll move on. I think I'll try and do a little bit of necromancy rune crafting, just to see how good that is. But yeah, let's just count up the runes and then sell them. Counting everything, it did cost about 4.6 mil in supplies, so I did subtract that. And for the actual GP, we got 17 magical thread, 12,000 blood runes, and 26,000 water runes for a total of just about 23 million coins. We'll basically have to do this. Okay, I think we're good. That only took a few minutes to set up, so that's not too bad. And the play is to just go in like this. Okay, I do want to figure out what is best. So I'm going to do a quick wiki search and we'll figure that out. Oh wow, it's looking like, yeah, you can make a ton of money here. It's looking like spirit runes are actually the best, so let's try that. FYI, I realized later that you actually need the polishing perk on a crystal binding rod. That way you have a chance to upgrade your spirit runes to bone runes for big time profit. So it's actually not that profitable just making spirit runes, but that's what I did for half an hour. Use the power burst. Ooh, we got 3,000. Okay, it's not as much as I thought actually. Okay, I think we'll end it on that one there. So let's see how much GP we made. So that was literally maybe 10 minutes of work, and we crafted over 40,000 spirit runes. So that's kind of crazy. They don't go for very much, actually, only 2.8 mil. So the GP was not very good for necrotic runes. I think you probably really need the polishing perk on, and we really only made like 2.3 mil profit, something like that. So that puts us up to about 716 mil. I think going forward for a little bit, I want to go back to Heists, because that's where we made all of our money basically, and I think that's the play. We're going to do a quick swap to the other heist. The Note Spike harness is selling for a ton with a combat modernization update, so let's go for it. So unfortunately, no real big luck at the Asuran Arsenal. We are up to 727 mil with just over 2 hours to go, so let's switch it up. For this next method, we will be making some historic components and selling them. So right now we have 356, so I will keep that in mind, and we'll go to the Infernal Source because the materials are much cheaper to buy to restore the artifacts here, and right now historical components are going for a lot. After the combat modernization update, people are reperking their gear, and you need 20 historical components for every ancient gizmo you're making, so they are very profitable right now. So we're starting off at 356 just to make sure we don't sell any of the components we already have, but the plan is going to be to make the small crates of 100. I think they're selling for around 2.5 or 3 million coins, and to do that we will be restoring some of the artifacts here at the Infernal Source, so level 20 or 24 archaeology spot. And the materials needed to restore these are very cheap, cadmium red being the most expensive, but you're also collecting some while you're excavating these artifacts. And then the other artifact, the Crest of Dagon, they only require gold rune and orphan glass, which are also very cheap materials. So I'll be restoring a bunch of those, and then making the material crates and selling them for some pretty good profit. You do need a few additional components to make the material crates, like padded components. So we might just buy some green dragon hide to get some of those, but yeah, we'll just proceed and see just how many we can create and how much money we can make. We got 10 paintings, so that's pretty good. And then we'll just assemble them all and see how many historical components we get. You do have a chance at some classical components, which you can also sell, but that's not what we're here for. They aren't as profitable. So really just going for the historical crates. And another thing that we will do is buy some items for the padded components. So let's buy 250 of them, and that should be plenty. They buy. So that was 600k. We will subtract that from the total. So that's perfect. I'll just disassemble some of these so we get some padded parts, which we'll use for the historical component crates. Okay, we'll just toss the rest of the staves in here, so we'll disassemble while I am getting more artifacts. And let's see what we can get from these ones. So some historic there, classic. So eventually, if you do disassemble enough of these, you could make a classic crate to sell as well. Okay, so we are up to 636, so we can make almost 3 crates. So let's make 2 of them. We'll make 2 small crates and sell them, see how much profit we made already. And we have ton of components. So let's make those and go sell them on the G. Yeah, so we are honestly around 20 minutes in, and let's sell these for 2 mil each. Ooh, they didn't insta-sell. So the method definitely isn't as good as it was a few days ago. So they are going to sell. So about 3.5 mil for the 2 crates. So not the best. So that'll put us up to 730 mil. Not too bad. I was expecting a bit higher, but let's just finishing it off, do a little bit more, and then we'll move on to a new method. The alternative spot, and usually the best spot to do this, is here in Caradet. But the materials are a bit expensive. I think I'll just grab 1 or 2 of them to do. And I want to do something a little different. I want to start getting some big troves in between. So we're going to be hopping back and forth between Croesus and getting one of those big troves, and then going back and getting more artifacts. And I maybe should mention, I could do Croesus as a skilling method, but I hate finding teams of 4. But I think the plan is to come here I think it's every 6 minutes, and we can get a free little loot box, which could have a big page worth big money. All right, so we got the artifacts all restored. Let's just disassemble these. Some classic components there, some more historic components, very nice. Let's disassemble a few more. So it looks like we can probably make 2 more crates. Let's just quickly check. 606, and we start with 350, so perfect. We can make 2 more. So let's do that. And those are sold for about 3.5 mil. Okay, so I'm gonna try a new method. I bought some golden roses on the G, 50 of them. They're about 1 mil each, so this is very costly, and it is gonna come into the cost in the top there just as soon as I'm finished the method. But since I have all of the upgrades for Whirligigs, I have the flower saving chance, I also have the chance for double loot. I want to try this method. It can be really good GP, except there's a little bit of RNG to it where I'm going to need to save some flowers and everything like that. But we're going to be hunting dazzling Whirligigs, and essentially what these are is it gives you the shells that you can crush for the penance powder. So it is an item that's in very high demand, and we're going to see how many we get from these 50 flowers. Since I have all of the upgrades for catching Whirligigs and I have the hunter outfit, every flower should end up giving me about 1.8 shells. So at the end of this, 50 flowers, I should end up with a full 90 shells that I can make into penance powder, and it should be 10-15 mil profit. Like I said, there's a bit of RNG, so we have a potential to make more or potential to even lose money. Alright, things aren't looking so good. We only have 70 of these shells, and we only have 7 roses left, so we are definitely not on pace for the 90. But hopefully we at least made some money. No, that's it, we're out. We're literally out, and we have 80. We're supposed to get 90. Yikes. That is not good. So I just tested to see whether these shells sold for a bit more than the penance powder, and they didn't even sell. So we're going to be making them all into penance powder, and then selling them all, and hopefully we made a bit of profit. Oh god. Oh god, they didn't all sell. That's not good. Do we leave them maybe? It's looking like we might just barely break even. I will leave them for a bit. We haven't totaled up the GP on that method because, well, there was a big cost, so it's looking like we probably won't change it at all. I'm kind of thinking maybe we might have lost a bit of money. So that one really didn't work out. We'll have to come up with another method now. In the meantime, let's just open these 3 Bic troves, see if we made anything. Looking for the Bic pages, as always, no Bic pages, but we did make a little bit, I think. Let's say about 500k from those 3. Honestly, not bad. We'll just bump that up to 734.1 mil. So since I really don't know what to do, I think I'm just going to chop some logs while I figure out what the next course of action is. But Eternal Magic logs are actually decent GP right now, I think. So I decided I am going to be doing some runecrafting. We sold the Eternal Magic logs, really was not good, like made 100k off of it. I'm going to get set up for some more runecrafting. It was very consistent money. I'd like to at least get to 750 mil. So we'll do probably some water runes and some blood runes. So we have about 22 minutes to go. I've been doing this for quite a while, not quite a full hour, but I think it's time to switch it up. We made some very consistent money, and with the last 22 minutes on the clock, I want to do something a little bit riskier. So let's go ahead and sell the water runes. We did make just over 100,000 water runes in maybe 40 or 50 minutes. So not bad. They didn't quite all sell, but that should be about 14 mil, and we'll just insta sell the magical thread. So we got 8.3 mil there, so let's add that to the total. The water runes, I am just going to assume they all do sell for that price, so about 13.9 mil from the water runes. That's going to put us up to 759.5 million Gielinor pieces, so that is huge. We will just leave that to finish selling. I'm kind of out of ideas. We only have 20 minutes left on the clock, so I think I'm just going to gear up and do some Gate of Elidinis runs. Maybe we get lucky and get a dowser in the last 20 minutes. That'd be crazy. So let's just test our luck. So nothing in the first 3 runs. We might have time for one more, so let's go for it. Okay, and we are just about out of time. My God. Well, I definitely screwed that one up. So we didn't get the last kill, but time's up. We are at 10 full hours, and we made 760 mil. Now the crazy thing about that is 660 of it came within the first hour on Heist 1, getting the death mask. So skilling, it is profitable, but there are also some RNG type methods like skilling bosses, heists, where that's where you're going to be making all the money. So it did beat my 10 hours of PVM that I did nearly a year ago, but definitely had some luck in this one for sure.